40% are registered, 80% in some cases are not registered, don't come under the formal ecosystem. So one can only imagine how many more crores will be seen if they are registered or seen as businesses. We also have to remember that 11 crore jobs in a formal way, but if you take the informal sector, if you take what happens in the rural, the semi-urban India, this will only be multifold manifested. Quickly coming to Tamil Nadu, why I think this is very topical. We are sitting in Chennai for a center in Madurai. Tamil Nadu has the third largest MSME in the country with 8%, but again, if you take the registered, unregistered, qualified and not necessarily still aligned, this will be much more. 23 lakh MSME entrepreneurs, and what is very important is a fraction is only medium or small. The majority, 98% are micro. And what is also very special, the largest number of women entrepreneurs come from this sector from Tamil Nadu. This again is a very, very important statistic. And our big sectors concentrated on coir, automobile, food processing, textile, footwear, leather. And this is about 40% of the state's GDP. Now, what are we here for? We are here for discussing the way forward. The path for micro entrepreneurs or MSMEs in Tamil Nadu has been a progressive path, a dynamic path, as many of my
Center of Excellence on Employment and Livelihood will be established at Madurai, Tamil Nadu. The new CRI Center of Excellence will identify, train, mentor and incubate micro and small businesses towards sustainable transition and support them in accessing new technologies, markets and finance for setting up and scaling up business.
मुझे विश्वास है इस प्लेटफॉर्म से विकसित भारत के निर्माण को भी गति मिलेगी।
With over 63 million enterprises, the Indian MSME sector is amongst the largest in the world today and plays a critical
tech startup TN, Tamil Nadu's own version where micro entrepreneurship, women, every ecosystem of Tamil Nadu is impacted through their work. Mr. Shivaraja, looking forward to listening to lots of your thoughts, and this is a very important morning where you are at the crux of it. It will be good to hear. Mr. Unikrishnan, again, somebody who represents a very large industry in Tamil Nadu, something that we're all very proud about. Sain Gubain in Tamil Nadu is almost now very soon going to be feeling like a local name. Also somebody who works with industry today as Vice Chairman of CI Tamil Nadu State Council, Mr. Unni again had clear pointed views. He even in fact called me on Friday to say what are we discussing and how do we make it useful and resourceful. Mr. Unni, thank you so much for being here. Now, all this can't happen without money. All this can't happen without leadership. And Tamil Nadu, I just said, has the largest number of women entrepreneurs. How can this panel not have somebody who's a woman leader with access to money? This lady who says that she's traveled length and breadth of Tamil Nadu, but has understanding on things on the ground. We have Ms. Subhashri Sriram from Joint Managing Director Sriram Capital, who is going to present to us multiple realities and challenges that will happen or is happening and how we can access capital, how the reality can be changed for micro entrepreneurship in Tamil Nadu. Thank you for joining us. With this panel, I'll quickly get in, and how the panel is going to work is each one of them will be invited to speak for a few minutes, and then I have a set of questions. But please get ready with your questions because we have about an hour, and look forward to listening to many of you, because I think what is very important is this is a stakeholder discussion. This is not necessarily where every one of us are here to present. It's very important that all of us are here, and the MC just told us that you have come from far and wide. It's very important to listen to voices from everywhere. So please keep this very engaged, and our panelists are very keen to also engage and learn, but as much as to share. Once again, looking forward to this, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I will request Mr. N.K. Rangnath to start, and do you want to sit there? The mics are there? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shankar. The micro-entrepreneurs ecosystem in Tamil Nadu is quite vibrant, and it's also quite diverse. For one thing that you have to see, how many of you are micro-entrepreneurs here? And not a single or one person. And you're a registered micro-entrepreneur. So obviously we are talking to the wrong audience. Why I'm telling you this? Because if you see, I was just telling Shankar that there are 7.7 lakh MSMEs registered in Tamil Nadu. There are almost 50 plus lakhs unregistered micro enterprises in Tamil Nadu. Well, who are these people? All of you employ people in your organizations. Can you get a single Tamilian to come and work for you? Not possible. I live in a village. All the people who are building things here are from Bihar, not from Tamil Nadu. Then how are they living? You start talking to them, you understand that each one of them is a micro entrepreneur. There is a vibrant system that is going on, which we don't know, which is under the radar. And I was just thinking to myself, I was just thinking aloud also in the morning when we were discussing, have any studies been done on the velocity of money flow at that level? I would think it's far greater than anything that we have seen in the large companies. They borrow in the morning, repay in the night. And they borrow at usurious rates of interest, and they're able to survive. We negotiate with the bankers at the lowest rate of interest, and sometimes we don't survive. So there's a serious issue there. Where are these things coming from? How are they managing this? I was just talking to a guy I met, a chap called Mubarak. He says, I'm quitting my job. I'm a gardener in somebody's house. I'm quitting my job. I said, why? Because I just don't like it. He says, do you have another job? He says, no. I'm going to take up gardening work in many houses. Fine. How much will that give you? No, I will make my wife cook in many houses per day. I said, that's good. Then what else? He said, I applied for a loan to buy an auto. He said, are you registered anywhere? He says, no. And last time I went to my house, he came and met me. He says, no, what? I'm going to do facility management. I almost sat. I said, what do you mean by facility? There are so many houses here and they don't need to have a caretaker. I will take the job of cleaning everything, keeping everything clean. And mind you, he is getting a tax-free income according to his own, and he's not studied. He just put down everything. He's sending his son to school, and son speaks impeccable English, a little fellow of 10 years old. And he is earning 50,000 rupees a month tax-free. Where is he in this network? Nowhere. So if you see, in Tamil Nadu, what I find, just a quick thing, It's agri and agro-based industries which employ a lot of people who are not in this organized net. If you look at Tamil Nadu's per capita income, which is higher than the Indian average, and you also look at why you don't find Tamilian workers in your factories, obviously they must be doing something to contribute to this state's GDP. And that's where we have to look at. Handicrafts and traditional industries. I find that people are able to do phenomenal work. You go abroad, handmade, it's 5 times the price of a normal machine made, or 10 times. What happens in India? Exquisite stuff, no access to market, no access to finance. So one of the issues of the micro ecosystem here is these two things: access to finance, access to market. We were discussing with Subhashri, and she has got a valid point, and she'll explain to you how we cannot evaluate these companies, these enterprises, or these service, what you call units, in the same yardstick that we would evaluate MSMEs or larger companies looked at from a point of view of loans and collateral and NPAs, etc. I think I'll leave her to sort of talk about it more. But how do we get this going? Yes, we have a vibrant small SMEs. Who starts these SMEs? These are technocrats, people who have brains, who have a technical thing. And what are they reduced to? Reduced to one of collection agents and going behind bankers. No time for technology anymore. So we need to look at our ecosystem as to how we would sort of ensure that we will loosen this up and look at it from a very different point of view. Completely forget what we have done in our corporate world. I was mostly in the corporate world. Only now I've been in a village for about a year now, and it's a different world altogether. Completely different world altogether. You go to a small, I was telling them, there was a small, what they call in Tamil, maavu mill. All she does is grinds and makes some, chili powder and all that. Chili powder was so nice to smell. I walked in, and the lady spoke. He says, "Very impeccable English." I said, "You?" I said, "No, I'm a graduate." So what are you doing here? This is my village. I need to look after my children. So I've come here and I put some money and I run this. And she sells to all the villages around, and people come and pick it up. Registered? No. Is there an ecosystem for her to get loan? No. So this is the system that we are grappling with. So we need to make, and there are good programs from the government of Tamil Nadu in terms of training, in terms of getting there. But the question is, how do we reach these people with the rules that we have? That's where we have to look at. It's not the policies, it's not the programs, it's not the intent, it's not the intelligence of the people, but the way we have set up our systems to evaluate these people and help them move forward. And that's what we need to look at. Look at fisheries and marine. It's a big industry in Tamil Nadu. It's a little more organized perhaps, but we need to look at what we can do. So policy-wise, we'll have to look at, and the challenges, like I said, is access to finance, market access, and skill development, which quite a few people are now trying to get that deficit sort of come up to mark. Again, skill development in which way? In the way we look at from the corporate point of view, or what is relevant for them as micro industries. There are opportunities. Look at what digitalization in terms of UPI has done. It has brought millions of people into the formal finance sector. People who had no bank accounts to it. You go to a village. I went to walking along a village. I found a guy selling palm, nungu as they call it. I said, "What are you selling nungu up in the hills? Where did it come from?" He said, "I come from Dindigal." I said, "I don't have any money. I'm taking a walk." "Illa sir, UPI padidanga." He puts up a thing and I pay him 200 rupees and walk away with this. Now that is what is micro about all this. And women. I finally find that the women of Tamil Nadu are the ones who really work. The men of Tamil Nadu are quite sort of, doing whatever they want. So women entrepreneurs, which we need to, and there I find Coimbatore being the place where I see most women are working on the shop floor. And we couldn't do that in Chennai. It's amazing what they do in Coimbatore. And all the MSMEs, if you see, are clustered around Chennai and Coimbatore, around all the bigger cities. But the micro enterprises are right across. Going to a village, going to any small town, you go along the street that there is. So many shops, so many roadside shops, people working to get things done. In conclusion, what I would like to say, the ecosystem in Tamil Nadu is characterized by a very strong traditional base. It is also has a growing industrial sector, and it has supportive government policies too. However, addressing challenges like these where we change the entire way of evaluating these people, trying to get, in fact, when we were talking, it just struck to me, why are we trying to give them a loan and asking them to pay after 1 year? Why don't we do that on a daily basis? Instead of paying 10% interest per day, charge them 1% interest per day. They are used to it. Maybe they'll be more disciplined. We don't know. So we need to look at it differently. So market access, finance, skill development, and these are crucial to enhancing the ecosystem. So I presume we will start taking things like I said, you are perhaps not the direct beneficiary of this, but at least you can be the ambassadors to go out and say, let's look at it in a different way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I request Mr. Ambalavan to give his opening remarks, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. You know, India is one of the biggest agro-based country when we got the independence. Now, after liberalization, we have really improved greatly in industrialization. Particularly the MSME sector has grown up in a very big way. As we all know, Tamil Nadu is one of the finest states with lots of aspirations. Every other person in the state, whether it is a small village or a big city, whatever the job he does, he wants to do it big. Just check up with the tea shop owner in the roadside. His aspirations would be that he wants to build a 5-star hotel some point of time. So that is the kind of a spirit they work. But how? That's the question. We have the governments, both Government of India as well as the Government of Tamil Nadu, has been greatly supporting the industry as well as the agriculture, and lots of incentives were given. But only thing what is lacking here, what we find is that every entity is working in silos. Like CII is one of the biggest organization which has got lots of resources. This is also working towards the betterment of the people. The government is also targeting, looking at the grassroots level and trying to target a particular group of people for various categories of work. But the stakeholders are the same, the target groups are the same. So what do we need at this moment is the integration. So that's what I think we are doing now in this particular initiative of CII. Is one of the great initiative which the government and the CII and other industries, individual industries can join together, and we can reach out to the people and get what we want to achieve for the state as well as the nation. So if we see what is the most important takeaways for having a good integration is that we can improve the employability of youngsters. We have very fine educational institutions, both private and government, and we need to provide employment, and we need to provide a platform for setting up entrepreneurship. And secondly, we should also reduce the regional imbalances within the state, and the state should support the other states which are coming up, which are trying to come up with good economic development. We all know that the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has initiated lots of schemes for the students, particularly the school students also, for innovation and also for the colleges. We have SIDP, School Innovation Development Program, and also the SEDP for the college students. So these initiatives we are trying to give innovation voucher program where we are taking and identifying good ideas for taking up to a prototype up to production. Our initiative is that we want to link these initiatives, good initiatives which are interesting, which are going to have a good economic, efficient and effective solutions for various problems, and we would like to link it up with the startups, we would like to link it up with the industry, we would like to take them with a proper IPR and also try to provide financial support through district industrial centers so that these things will create a good support for the young entrepreneurs. We also have lots of paid programs. These are small capsules of training which empower the grassroots level people, particularly the women and also the various entrepreneurs. These paid programs are very well received. Like for instance, we had organized a program very recently and it is going on for quite some time as a bakery products. And the ladies who participated and lots of gents also participated and they were so happy that they could able to make it. The skilling was so nicely done by the resource person and they could able to make the bakery items in such a short time. So these are small things which make the people skilled and they can go and start the business. And from ADI point of view, we give a certificate for these trainings and these certificates are really valuable for them for getting the subsidies from the government and also the loan facilities from the district industrial centers. What are the challenges the micro entrepreneurs have? One is that the technology. Now, like rightly said by Mr. Ranganath, that many of the micro entrepreneurs, they are not registered. They don't know. They are only following the traditional method of conducting their business and they have a good return and they are enjoying. But they are not connected to the industry. So, what is that they need is that the technology and guidance. And we should catch hold of them and try to give them adequate skilling and training. And we would like to use the new center, CII centers for facilitation, training and giving the need-based training for a particular industry. There are lots of big industries who want, like for instance, I was told that the textile industry in Tirupur, they are running sort of tailors who has to do this overlocking and button, fixing the button and all. So if we train these people, if we skill them, this will be a short term 3 days, 4 days training. It would definitely help that particular sector. So we need to focus on these small problems and try to identify the solution and give the training for a set of targeted group so that we will try to meet our requirement and the industries will be sustainable without any problem. And already Mr. Ranganath has talked about the access to finance. That's a very important thing. The government has been doing it all along and we need to work little further in coordination with CII and I am sure we could be able to achieve a great amount of contribution through this. And one more thing, access to market. This is also a very important thing, particularly the agriculture. Agriculture needs lots of logistics. Unlike the earlier time, today every sector, no sector can work independently. Even if you take a car, originally it was only mechanical. Today it has got everything. It has got computers, it has got electronics, it is not only mechanical, it has got all kinds of technology adopted in a car. Similarly, agriculture. I had seen in colleges some of the students, they were talking about sensor-based assessment of water requirement for the plants. And some of the young electronic graduates, they are trying to innovate for supplying medicines for the elderly people, aged people, automatically with a kind of equipment, small equipment. So these are kind of a great thought processes. Such initiatives need support, and we are trying to take them to the next level. And I would like to thank CII for providing this opportunity. Here, EDI, our institute, would like to collaborate with CII and the individual industries and even the educational institutions we are already in. We are working along with the educational institutions, particularly for need-based skilling and identifying problems for an industry and trying to settle and trying to give solutions through skilling. We would like to have a proper linkage with the entrepreneurs and the industry, and also the facilities whatever is available at the grassroots level, because we work at Chennai primarily, and we also work at the facilities of the district collectors mostly. In case if you all need our support, we would like to come to the grassroots level and try to train the people, which could ultimately help you in a big way. And last, if at all, if some of the CSR funding could be done for us, we can again help you by way of training the target group which you need, so that we could able to improve the employability in a bigger way at the grassroots level, and also try to support both industry as well as the stakeholders. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Ambalavan, for presenting us the landscape of possibilities and the reality. And I'm sure with open partnership call, a lot more can be built, and I'm sure we will discuss on that too. Next, I request Mr. Shivaraja to give his opening remarks. Thank you.
இதை